Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the AGM. Last year we had 87 people. This year, not quite so many. It's hard to guess. It was hard for us to estimate how much, but it doesn't feel quite as intimate as I would like to see it. So if any of you folks want to move more forward, we could have a little love-in or something. I'm not sure on that side of things, but if you're comfortable where you are, stay where you are, not a problem. I'm going to call the meeting to order at whatever time? 7:01. So that's the first part, I guess, and the next one is to have the agenda approved. Is there any comments on the agenda? No. Okay, so
I'll move it, yeah.
okay.
And I'll second.
And Loris will second. The minutes of the previous last year's AGM. Any comments with regards to the minutes? We're all good with the minutes. Can I have somebody move that we accept the minutes? There we go. It's Lynn, yeah. Second by
I'll second.
Loris will second.
Or second.
Oh,
Kyle?
Kyle.
Should be
All in favor?
Oh, blue card.
Oh, blue cards, yeah, yeah. I don't want to see any red cards, guys. There we go. Introduction of the board. Why don't we start with you, and then I'll move the pipe down this way.
Okay. Star Donovan, secretary?
Retired.
Oh, yeah, retired from Mercy Seafoods after 35 years, so I took on a new role.
And she's been a great add to the board between doing the secretarial work and me using her human resources experience is going to help quite a bit as we move forward. I'm Eric Goulden. Recently, I guess 12 years now in Liverpool. I guess I'm an old guy. I got volunteered into the Astor more on the business side of things than the programming side. And I'm looking forward to moving forward with the Astor. I am now a whole 3 months into my chair position, so I got a lot to learn, and certainly looking forward to being a part of this great, wonderful building.
Hello, Laura Cesano, I'm the treasurer. I've been on the role for the past 5 years, so time does fly, and very honored to be part of the board.
Hello, it's Dan Williams, and this is my beginning of my second year here on the board. Most of you probably know me.
Lynn Cochran, I'm the vice chair for the board executive, and I'm into my second term now, which means I've done 3 years and another 3 to go. So it's been wonderful working with this whole team.
My name is Velta McManus, and I'm a brand new board member. I just started last week, so I look forward to participating in all of the workings of the board and helping to contribute to Astor Theatre as a whole.
Hi, Patricia Sims, also a brand new board member. I've been in Liverpool almost 2 years now, so I'm very new. However, I'm very much looking forward to being more involved with the Astor in particular and the community at large that's been very kind welcoming me here. So Lovely to see all of you.
The chair report is going to be fairly small tonight, considering my long-term leadership of 3 months. Certainly we are moving forward in a very positive direction. We're following guidance of our strategic plan. It's I would say we're a little bit behind now. I think one of the areas that we've pretty well agreed on is getting a little bit more discipline in our fundraising and sponsorship, that type of thing. We've got some good applications that are pending. Feeling very positive that we will be starting a very new beginnings at this point. The future is looking very, very good for the Astor, and I look forward to participating in the moving forward with the Astor. That's about it for me. Is it financial?
Yeah. As far as the financial report, I would like now to call upon our accountant, Mike Metcalf, and he will present to you our financial statements for the year 2024. Thanks, Mike.
We'll leave it like this. Not used to being up here. So this is the report for December 31st, 2024. You'll notice first that it's stamped draft. We're pretty darn close to getting them finished up, but we don't expect any changes from what we're presenting tonight. Secondly, you'll notice this is the first full December year end. The Astor was always a March year end up until 2023. And so you'll note for the income statement that it's the first full 12-month period compared with a 9-month period the year before. So we'll just get to, if you want to keep going, Joey. I'll just briefly go through. This is the statement of financial position, or your balance sheet. You'll see cash is down from last year by about 100,000. Still in a very positive position at 144,000. There was a small loss this year. There were some capital purchases that happened, and there was a lot of prepaid shows last year that there's a lot less this year. So. That's why cash is down a little. Nothing to be scared about, though. Capital assets. You had 22,000 in capital purchases this year against 19,000 in amortization. So capital assets are up a little bit. And for the rest, well, I guess the long-term investments, you'll see there's almost 10,000 there. You're allowing donations of shares now, so the Astor's holding on to some balances of shares that have been donated. Overall assets 301, 431 compared with the 383,000 last year, so down by 82,000. However, liabilities are also down. Your accounts payable down by 24,000 this year, and also deferred income, which is your prepaid shows. Joe, you went too fast, but your prepaid shows are also down by about 43,000. So I think he's telling me to hurry up. So your liabilities down to 54,000 this year from 124 the year before. So that's down by 70,000. So makes your asset decrease look a lot better. Okay, now what's a prepaid show? If you pay the box office in December for a show that you're going to go and see in February, that's a prepaid show as at December 31st. So the theater hasn't actually earned the income from the show. You've just given them a deposit. Exactly. Well, kind of. It's a deposit for the show you're going to see. Yeah. So. Okay. So sales, actually, Joey, can I get you to go right to the end of the PDF? I'm going to throw you off a little bit here. So this is, it kind of breaks it down by cinema, entertainment, cantina, bar, rentals, and fundraising. So your cinema and basically everything except for entertainment. Entertainment took a big jump this year. Just more live shows and had the Theater Fest in there as well. So that really contributed to your gross profit a lot more than it did last year, as you can see. 55,000 to the good this year, 32,000 to the bad last year. So that's the big difference in the gross profit. Can I get you to go back up, Joey? And we'll just quickly go through your income statement. So sales, 298,000 overall, compared with 155 last year. Cost of sales also up, 183 compared with 129 last year. So your gross profit, 115,261 compared with 26. So, and then you've got your grants and your donations, 174,000 compared with 166 last year. And then you've got your expenses. That's up to 303 over 233 last year. So overall, there was a small loss, 12,299, compared with $40,000 loss last year. So trending in the right direction, we'll say. Any questions that I missed out on? Put you all to sleep. Perfect. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael, for your presentation. As far as my financial report for this evening, I just wanted to bring you up to date with the amount of cash that we actually hold as of today's date. This was historical, but as of today's date, the society maintains a total cash position of $161,000. And we differentiate cash in two ways. One is unrestricted cash, cash that we have on hand that we can use for our own operating purposes. And there are also restricted cash, and restricted cash is cash that we actually are forced to withhold. For example, the ticket sales. When we receive cash from someone that purchases a ticket, we must set that aside. So that is a form of restricted cash. So the unrestricted cash position is $78,000, and that also includes a $35,000 GIC investment account that we have with our bank, the Royal Bank. And we have restricted cash of $83,000, and of that number, $53,000 represents cash held for future shows. And if you come into the theater and you see the board of all the shows that we have, we sell tickets for, that's indicative of all the tickets that are up for sale, and obviously some people have gone ahead and contributed to our efforts anyway. As far as the society is concerned, as of right now, we have no liabilities, so we have no debt. Now, we consider the liquidity position to be adequate to meet our short and medium-term needs. However, based on what you saw on our financial statements, we rely heavily on the contributions, not only of operations, but also donations. And we also rely heavily on funds raised from grants available through provincial and federal means. And that's pretty well the standard in the industry, about a third, and a third. And I think you can see by the volume of revenue that we had this year in particular, we've had a significant increase in activity, so that shows you the amount of impact that the efforts of Katie and the programming that goes on into making the Astor successful. Fundraising is a major target and objective for this fiscal year in particular, and through the efforts of Lynn in particular and Eric and the new board that we have, we will endeavor to put that into place, but also bring a lot of the initiatives that we have documented in our strategic plan that Eric mentioned earlier. So implementing our fundraising strategy is a major going forward initiative for the Astor. As a board and staff, we remain committed to managing the affairs of the Astor in a fiscally responsible manner. And while there are always going to be some challenges, it is ever so critical that we have your continued support in all we do in our endeavors. So I thank you for your support. Are there any questions that you may have? Yes. Right. Like I was saying, that we basically rely on a third, a third, and a third. A third from operations, a third from grants, and a third from donations. Obviously, the donations part is the effort of the board and staff as we go out and solicit funds from the general public. Grants, as we may have seen in the last few years because of COVID grants, the Astor was benefited significantly from grants from provincial and federal initiatives. Those have kind of dwindled down post-COVID, and I would believe that right now where we are today as far as grants is pretty well what we can expect to receive, and I think on the financials it shows about some 80,000 or thereabouts from grants. As part of our strategic plan also is to bring in some activities around making sure that we get all the grants that are out there. Because of being short-staffed in the last couple of years, we may have missed some grants that maybe we should have been able to receive. So I think based on our staffing being stable, our board focused on fundraising, I would expect that if there are grants that we should be receiving, we are going to go after them. And we have a good relationship with both provincial and federal MPs as well. So we do have a good reputation with that regard, and I think we'll do our best to find grants in other areas of support. As you may also be aware, in the past year, we tried to seek out opportunities to even see about getting some air conditioning for this place, which would extend our ability to have shows during the summer months where the theater becomes unbearable. So those are the kind of things that we're working on behind the scenes, and we will have, if we can get some answers for you, we will provide them, but we are really focused on making sure we get what we can. Yeah, well, Lynn, did you want to add that? Or, okay, so Lynn will cover some of that. And remember that this building is still, the region owns this building, and some of those initiatives you're talking about would fall under that world. But as far as what we can control, and through our staff and our programming, is the operating income, which is the use of the space at the front, the events that occur on stage here, and anything that we can sponsor and put on stage for you as a general public. Anything else? Okay, thank you for that. Now at this stage, I would like to make a motion to appoint our auditors for fiscal 2025. And as treasurer, I would like to move that the Astor Theatre Society accept Bellevovino as the auditors for the upcoming fiscal year. And do I have a seconder? Daniel? second. All in favor? That's passed. Thank you so much, carried. I appreciate your support. I move on to the next part. Lynn.
Well, yes, previously, I'm Lynn Cochran, and as the vice chair of the Astor Theatre Society, I took on, I guess, a couple of specific responsibilities. When we met this time last year, I told you that one of the major initiatives that I wanted to accomplish for the Astor was to set up an endowment fund so that we could generate income through donations that would be invested that would come back to the theater in the way of dividends on a year-by-year basis to help sustain the Astor and make it live on for years. Well, I'm very happy to say that we did accomplish that this year. We launched the endowment fund in November. It is operated under the management of Mark Sapp from Scotia McLeod. Some of you may know Mark, certainly his family here in Liverpool, Jim and Margaret Sapp. Mark also manages the Hospital Foundation Fund, so we feel very fortunate and in very good hands. This fund basically will preserve your donations, produce annual dividends that will support our operations and programming. Donations can be done in the form of a tax-free share transfer, cash donations, legacy and will donations, and obituary donations. And also tax receipts would be available for most of those donations. So if anyone is interested in contributing to the Astor through the endowment fund, you can contact Katie Hopkins here, and she can give you all the information you need to make that happen. So very happy to have that in place, and we have a couple of investors in that fund already, so we're underway. The other big thing, oh, sorry, yes, sir? Right now, it's still quite small. We're ambitious. We're at just over $10,000. So, and we'd like to over the, thank you. We're ambitious. We want to get it up to around $1 million, because that will really sustain the theater. It'll return an annual income of about between $30,000 and $40,000 a year, which is what we require to support that other third that Loris was talking about. So, the other thing that I've talked to you last year about was our efforts to get an air conditioning system in the building, an HVAC. We have proceeded with that in September. We submitted a grant to Infrastructure Canada through their Green and Inclusive Buildings communities to the tune of about $3.5 million. That would give us a system that would heat, cool, and air condition the theater as well as the town hall. It would require an electrical upgrade so that all the electrics would get upgraded primarily to LED, being more cost efficient. And also it would include new energy efficiency windows in both buildings and doors, and also accessibility. Right now, we really only have the ramp into the building. We're working with the region, and part of that GIBC grant will give us money to put an elevator from the first floor of the town hall to the second floor so everyone can access it. We'll have a universal washroom and other accessibility things that I can't think of right now, but the region is on top of it. So we're very hopeful we're going to hear soon on that. We're a little concerned that maybe our current federal and provincial sort of distractions with our friend to the south of us may slow things down. We don't know. But no one has heard, any organization that put in for these grants, no one has heard yet. So we're still fingers crossed. We would be working in conjunction, as I said, with federal government, also the Department of Economic Development in Nova Scotia would contribute to that, and the region of Queens, as well as some fundraising that we might have to do for the theater, but it would be minimal. The other grant opportunity that we've been working on is one that we hope we can announce within the next few weeks. But just to give you a little heads up, it would be a substantial investment in the Astor with the primary focus of improving our operations and sustainability of the whole of the theater and the buildings. So our primary things that we want to focus on if we're successful in getting that grant is developing a strong and sustainable fund development capability. We really don't have much in that area at the moment. Some of you, or I imagine most of you, would get our Christmas letter asking you to donate, and then we're fortunate every once in a while we find a donor that is going to give us more. We need to be better at that. We need to manage that better. So that's a key area we want to improve on. The other areas of improvement is marketing and communications with a strong emphasis on community engagement. We want to be better at telling you what we're doing and also, but asking you what you want us to do. Just really open up our lines of communication. And also money that would support programming, not only what's on the stage by way of theater, movies, music, but our youth programs. So those are the three core areas that we really feel that if we're successful in that grant, we could really improve. These things are all tied to our 5-year strategic plan for the Astor, and that is publicly available. So if anybody would like a copy of that, they can contact Katie or myself, and we'll get you a copy. But it's a very good plan. It's a sustainable plan. It's one that all these key things address, and everything that the board does is working towards that plan. So thank you for your attention, and more importantly, thank you for your support of the Astor.
While we're talking a lot about finances and so on, we don't forget what the goal is diversity and inclusion, of course, and it's amazing how much activity goes on within the Astor and within the arts side of things. It's if you haven't seen the calendar, if you're not following Facebook, you may not know how much there is, but it's pretty wide, and it involves quite a bit of youth, and a lot of it is done at no charge. So it's a good place for kids to socialize. It's a good place for everybody to escape their daily concerns, particularly now in this time of turmoil. The theater is a very integral part, and we're very, very fortunate to have such a beautiful building and such great talent in the area. It's just amazing. Where are we now? Director's nomination. Okay. I guess we're calling for anybody that wishes to join the board. This is your big opportunity to make your mark in life and in the Astor Theater. We are looking for a number of different people. There's one that was quoted in our last meetings with the skill sets that was nice to have. Certainly we wouldn't walk away from anybody that wishes to join, but if you're proficient in nonprofit law, that would be nice. Marketing would be really nice. Communication would be nice. Fundraising would be nice. Public relations would be nice. Human resources policies would be nice. Art community connections. So there's just to quote a few areas that I know you guys are just jumping out of your chair to do this, and we appreciate your participation. So I'll call for nominations from the floor. Oh, line up. Don't take too many steps forward, guys. Come on, let's go. Yeah, I'm supposed to do this 3 times. I realize that's part of the procedure, yes. So I'll call once again for nominations from the floor. And by the way, don't feel guilty if you don't want to do this. It's all right, you know. We'll still love you in the morning. And the 3rd time, call from the floor. Any nominations? we're very fortunate that we were able to recruit a number of new people. I'm really excited about the board that we have here now, so I don't need any of you guys anyway, so. So, questions, I guess we're at that part of questions. Questions from the floor.
Sorry
Oh.
about that. I move to accept the financial report as presented. I'll second.
There we
Chris?
go. Chris, yeah.
All in favor? Thank you. Carries.
Anything else we forget, Chris? We're new at this. Come on, give us a break. Okay. No questions from the floor. Yes, sir. That's a good one. I think you've got somebody behind you walking towards you that might be able to give you a little bit of
The expert.
the expert. Go ahead, Katie.
Cinema is back, I'm happy to say. So, yeah, we started a few weeks ago. And so the next film is The Last Showgirl this Friday and Sunday.
This will be ongoing from here on in, we hope. Yeah, we may need a new projector at some point in time, but pending
Well,
any breakdowns.
it is reaching end of life. It's 11 years old, I think, which is pretty old in the projector world, but it's fine for now. We're fixing the bits that break as they break.
Have you thought about investigating the costs or the interest in having the Metropolitan Opera live stream at the Astor, since it doesn't happen in Bridgewater anymore? It happens up at Chester Playhouse, does it? But why don't we? I don't know what expenses are involved in this.
Yes, and we are going to bring that.
Why?
Hmm? Yeah, oh, yes, yes, we are.
I'm sorry, I thought you said we were not. Sorry.
No, we are.
There you go. So we are going to do that. Also, you know, wouldn't it be great to have the Nova Scotia Symphony come down sometime, or part of it?
Yeah, I remember many years ago they did come here once. Yeah, they were here.
We're not talking about movies now.
No, no.
The actual symphony, okay.
Symphony here, physical. Yeah. We're looking at, you know, as much as we can for sure. The plate is getting pretty full, which is really nice to see. I think you're going to see more and more, and also the population is starting to embrace the theater much more this year. I think you had some numbers. More so this year, I think it was 12,000.
Yeah, we're about to up to 12,000 visitors annually, and it's actually been fairly stable, Katie?
Yeah, it has. The 2023 and 2024 were pretty similar.
Right. And the variety of I was going to say that maybe even, Katie, if you wanted to touch upon the variety of events that we actually hold at the theater. It's a wide mix, and it's not only tribute shows that we put on, but the number of events that occur here, the Nova Scotia performers, artists that perform their own music, various cultural artists that appear here on our stage. There's quite a list. And Katie balances, it's a fine line when you balance program calendar, because you kind of have to keep one eye on the returns and then one eye on providing all the variety of cultural events that we do provide, whether they're in the name of diversity or opportunity. You can also say it's an opportunity. So the Astor provides quite a varied list. And if you ever want to talk about or even ask Katie, she will be glad to show you the type of events that we actually hold. And you know, we always talk about the seats being packed for tribute shows, but there's a wide array of events that actually occur here.
What kind of success is that live streaming of the British soccer events?
So we have it varies depending on which teams are playing. So we have a couple of teams that have a bigger following than others, and we try and show as many different ones as we can. But that's a committed group that we get here, and it doesn't impact any other programming, is the good thing about that, because it's usually in the mornings, because it's on TV or it's played in the afternoon in the UK. So, we play it here when nothing else would be happening.
What kind of audience is here for that?
15 to 40 or 50, would you say? Yeah. And, we have the bar open, so the bar does quite well at those events.
Thanks. I was just wondering, I was looking before the meeting on your website to see if I could find the names of the board of directors, and I'm wondering if I just missed it, or is there a list of your names on there? Or?
The improvements that we want to make. We actually do have a new website that is in development, and it's going to have all the board's members' names on it, maybe even go so far as a picture, but with a bit of a bio. That's in our improvement category. But thank you for asking, because that's on our minds too.
On that website, could you also put the strategic plan?
Yes.
Good point, good point. It's pretty well motherhood type stuff anyway. I mean, it's really, we're not strategically planning on changing anything on that one, but growing what we have, really nurturing it and trying to grow the areas that we have, trying to do better in a lot of different categories, I think is one of the things. But, diversity certainly is a big part, and inclusion are both. I mean, when you take a look across the faces here, there's not too much diversity here on our. One Italian. Yeah, there you go. You can't argue with an Italian. Yeah. Anything else, folks? Well, that's pretty good. There were 22-8, and I think we'll call for adjournment. Okay. Great, folks. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.